Okay, just got done bleeding everything, purging this new master cylinder and bleeding all 4 brakes. And we did the back and came up to the front, started doing the front, and noticed the rear reservoir in this was empty after we'd already bled the ones in the back. So couldn't figure that one out. So we looked around the chassis of the truck to see if we could find a leak or if we blew a line or whatever we did, and we did. All right. So the line that we blew is this one right here. It's blowed. It is blown right here by the hanger. It's blown right here by the hanger, and it's actually squirting onto the back side of the frame. So it's back there behind there where I didn't see it. But it's definitely crusty and old. So I'm going to show you how to fix this. We're going to replace this line, but we're going to fix it. But we don't have a connection here. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix this. Because this one goes all the way to the, it goes all the way to the front of the cab, goes around the frame to the proportion valve. So that's one piece. So, but we're going to have to fix this by taking a section out. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, first thing we're going to have to do, I already sprayed this. We're going to have to unbolt this coupling here. And there's a couple of hangers where this one is right next to this hanger, but then it runs underneath through here, see? And there's another hanger bolt that's up here. So to get this loose, I need to loosen this off first and then loosen the 2 hangers there and back here so I can pull this out enough to use my cutter to cut it, and so we can take it down to the parts store and get a replacement. All right, and like everything else in this world, everything's always a fight. So it ended up being a 7/16 here, but somewhere between a 14 and a 13 millimeter on that part. So we're just going to use this crescent wrench here. And so most generally these smaller ones, if I can get this to work for me. So we're loose there. We'll set those aside up here just for future use. And then I have to get a 1/2 inch and take this loose. See, they're just those snub self-tappers. Okay, now we got her loose. You see your jiggle, we got her loose. So now I need to take my tool and I'll show it to you here. Hey, if you're here and you're watching, smash that like button. It's down here somewhere. That like button's down there. It really helps out the channel. Okay, she's looking pretty cruddy right around that connection point there where it bends. See how it bends? So I'm going to cut it. I think I'm going to cut it about right there. Okay, and to do a job like this, this is the only tool you're going to need besides your regular hand tools, which you already own. This is a little tubing cutter, and it's made out of metal, and it's older than me, but it still works great. Okay, I just want to show this to you. This is how crusty and gross and nasty those lines can get after sitting in dirt for 5 decades. And it's so bubbled up and so roasted that I can't actually see the hole. And that's the problem, is that it gets so corroded that you can't see a hole, a pin hole in this as you're putting one together. So necessary deal, we're just going to take, since I wanted this fitting, I need to match that fitting that's already on there, and we'll use a special little thing to fix that. See if I can get this to focus for you. There's your hole. See, but this is, I cleaned this, and this is the line that sat above. See if I can get this focus for you. This is the line that sat above. See, look at all those rust dimples. This section of line, it wasn't going to last very much longer. Huh? Let me see. Come on. That's all about to rust through. All rough like that. But this section right here sits above, right where the gas tank was, or gas tank would be on this 80 model, because the gas, and we're going to change over to the other side, but this sat inside that frame rail for 50 years, collecting dirt, sitting in junk, sitting in wet conditions, and it just rusted to pieces and literally just rusted a hole in it. Look at that. That's what was bleeding on me. But that's all those dimples. That's just rust. That's just untreated steel metal lines. That's just untreated metal lines in this line. Now this section, see the difference? You can see it here. Dimply, bimply. And then here, it's not, that section actually saw water drain off of it, so it didn't sit in its own junk. And that's all right. So what we're going to do is we had to replace the line, so we got the new line, and I already cut the piece off of it. And if you don't have one of these, you need one of these. This is like the best little tool ever. Metal, had it pretty much all my life, and it works so good for just taking pieces off. And I just basically, this thing is solid. This is what you call a compression fitting, and it's got 2 ferrules inside of it, and just basically you slip it on and you tighten it down, and it creates a compression fit so it doesn't leak. And I'll show you how. You just basically take the end off. All right. So basically, yep, you just take the end off, and you got to have your piece here first, and then your ferrule that goes on the tube.
Sure, the ferrule.
And then this makes a compression fitting. About if you do it, and then we got to take this other part, and we need to clean the other end of the piece that I cut, put in there, and then we'll tighten everything down and make this fitting. All right, and then we're going to clean this off with some sandpaper, because this is the old pipe, but this is about the cleanest part of this old pipe. There we go. All right. Then it's just the same procedure.
Okay.
Yep. We're going to slip our end on.
Maybe
we need to clean this a little bit more. Yep. I'd say we have to clean it a little bit more. That should be pretty good. And get this back out of the pocket one more time. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, you do have a belly pocket.
Yeah, no, I'm not used to wearing a
hoodie.
Oh, by the way, talking about hoodies, you guys not notice? Fuck you. Established 1968. These will be on the website soon. If you guys want a hoodie this summer, just hook me up. Just check out unclebuckstuff.com. All right. Then we're going to slide this through here. And this one threads into here. And this one, look at that. There we go. And then this one goes on here like this. Now, when it comes to the center section, yeah, you can use just a regular wrench. But when it comes to the compression fittings, I always suggest using a line wrench for it. And it ain't got to be super tight. It's just got to be tight because that brass will compress and create the seal.
The ferrule.
With the ferrule, yeah. It's the same process as if you ever set up a mechanical fuel pressure gauge or oil pressure gauge on back. and you're using some of them are plastic, some of them are brass tubing, then you're good. Okay. All right, so that's done, and the threads look about even. So that's how you do a compression fitting, and then I have a couple of bolts, and it's actually off the frame. Yep. So they are 1/2 inchers, and I'm actually going to leave this one here because this is not touching, but I have one up here that I need to replace that I'm actually going to use a rubberized with some rubber shocker on it. Oh.
Makes you happy you're not a snake hunter, huh?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Makes me happy. I am not a snake hunter, that's for sure. That one would have bit me. Yeah, I'm running around looking for it. It's sitting right there. Okay, and that's all you got to do with that. All right. Now we got to go back and now we got to go back to the master cylinder and fill it back up again and put some pressure to it and see if anything leaks.
Yay.
And then rebleed everything.
Yeah, I love bricks.
Gotta love brakes.